It's a beautiful Sunday, August 31st, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there's so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, co-raps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options in the month of September, it's almost September.
That's right.
All you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. Ted, the Oklahoma Sooners are 1-0.
Yes, they are.
But there's a lot to talk about.
We got some stuff.
Sooners win it 35-3 over Illinois State. Let's get the defensive side of the ball out of the way, because I feel like we're going to spend a long time on the offense. Fair to say?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Ted, what'd you think of what OU's defense did in the opener?
Overall, I thought it was really good. There was a lot of guys that I thought played really well, and pretty limited amount of mistakes, or at least mistakes that are really have a chance to cost you. We had some technique stuff, playing gaps and everything that you're going to get in every game, and I think it was really good for those guys to get it on film. But I thought we really limited mistakes and did a really good job. I mean, I thought the defensive line was really solid. Bunch of guys played really well. Just starting at the interior, Jaden Jackson, excellent. Dominic Williams, really strong. And those two guys, we talked about it on the broadcast, some of those little natural interior stunts that they worked during the run game, thought was really good. There was a couple of those that they did on passing downs, which I thought ended up working really good. Jaden Jackson had a little stunt, and he had a ricochet and got a nice pressure. I thought Grayson Holton looked explosive like always, and he's missed a lot of camp, so I think he's going to continue to get better. I thought David Stone looked really good. Now, we're playing Illinois State, which I'm not going to say consider the opponent on every single thing I talk about. Just get that out of the way. We all know it's Illinois State. And I don't know what their rotation was late, if they had twos out there. Don't know, don't care. I thought David Stone looked really good. He was splitting double teams. He had the big hump move on the run play coming back against the grain to help. I thought he was active in the rush game. We ran a stunt where we dropped the two edge guys, and Stone has to loop for contain, and he runs the hoop all the way around, and it's whenever we had a good rush up the middle, the quarterback was flushed, and we created a pressure there, incomplete pass. I thought he looked really good. I thought Marcus Strong came in and looked, strong, named properly. On the edges, I thought our Mason Thomas looked excellent. He had a couple of really nice rushes. He had a really nice pass breakup. He had a great read on a screen. Remember the one where Gentry came up and made the tackle for loss? Our Mason Thomas made a great read on that screen play. I thought he was good. I thought PJ looked really solid, looks incredibly strong. No movement from the tackle whenever he's blocking him. Marvin Jones Jr. had most of his reps early, and I thought he looked solid. He looked sudden. He looked aggressive, was in the right place. Thought that was good. Taylor Wine, I thought he looked really good. Great position, great pad level, good effort. He had the sack where he retraced his steps and came back and made the sack, and that's one where David Stone had a great rush, splitting a double team. I thought he looked really good, and I thought Wyatt Gilmore looked fine. Came in late and did some good things. Um, Here's how you know we had a good day up front, and for the most part, a really good executed game plan. It wasn't a vast game plan. We kept it pretty limited, but I thought this was pretty telling. Several times, Gabe, they had a 7-man protection against a 4-man rush. And there were several times where we had a 6-man pressure against a 5-man protection. So we were skewing it back and forth. They'd keep like 7 in. We'd drop a bunch of guys out. So we've got like 7 coverage guys against 3 guys out in routes. Okay. You don't have to be a math major to know that's a big advantage for the defense. We had 6 versus 4 a lot. We had 6 versus 5 a lot. It was really, we did a really good job with disguise and all kinds of things to tilt the protection math in our favor quite a bit. I thought that was really good. Backers, I thought there was a lot of good in there. And I thought the bad is, technique, footwork. We had a couple things where, I was confused on alignment, and I think maybe some plays were created by being misaligned. But I thought Kobe McKenzie was really physical, on top of it, in a good position all day. Kip, high effort. I thought he was really good. I had him for 1 missed tackle. I had him for a missed tackle and Jeremiah Newcomb for a missed tackle. That's all he has, 2 missed tackles on the whole day.
Newcomb's was not good.
No, he kind of just
He
was out.
forgot to stick his arm out, is what he did. Like he forgot to extend his left arm. It was,
And we put him in a tough spot, though.
yeah.
Taylor Heim is playing the cheetah, and he gets held, but he shouldn't have been he should not have been held. He should have triggered quicker, play with better technique, and it would have condensed the window quite a bit for Newcomb, who's coming all the way from the outside.
There's a lot of space there. We are also nitpicking like crazy
Yeah,
with that.
that's right. That's right. But those were the only 2 missed tackles I had, which I thought was good. At safety, I thought Peyton Bowen was really good. He had a couple of nice plays. Reggie Powers came in and made his presence felt. Couple of really big hits, nice triggers in the run game at Cheetah, and I thought he was really good. Amarian Robinson coming in, getting a few reps late. Thought he did a good job. Boganowski as well out there, solid stuff. Corner, excellent. Really good at corner. Guillory, I thought he was great. He got called for the 1 PI. Whatever. What I thought was great about that, he had a very similar situation later in the game, and he played it perfectly. I thought it was really good. He has, early in the game, he has a tremendous effort play where he's flying to the football on the boot that turned into the long run by the quarterback. We'll get to that. He had a high effort play on that. Really stood out how he was running to the ball. Devon Jordan came in for a little bit. Didn't see Jacoby Johnson out there, but Guillory and Gentry Williams, I thought looked excellent. So personnel wise, there was a lot of good out there. The explosive plays. The first one where they hit us on the run and Heineke's in there in a mug in the B gap. He gets pinned in, he gets doubled, and they have it's the perfect call for what we're in, and it gets out the gate on us for an explosive and a first down. It's a bad call defensively, and I'll tell you why I say that. And it's probably one that BV would definitely take back. It's was that the first series? I think it was the first series,
It was
right? I
early, yeah.
think it was the first series. Um, it's 3rd and 13 on the -11 on the first series of the game. What is that screaming? Scream and run, like super conservative offensively. And I thought we were too conservative to answer that defensively. We're in a big, I think we're into like a double spy, 3-man rush, and the two backers are like short spies. And, we're spreading the net in behind. And I think we're in 2-man behind. So we're running the underneath off and we've got the double spy and they hit us right now. So the guys never have a chance to get back on the run. And it was just, wasn't a great call, but whatever. So I don't know. There's a whole lot we could have done to stop that one. The other explosive was the boot. It was a boot action. They motioned a guy across 2x2 to 3x1, and we're misaligned. We don't bump out of the box. I'm not even sure what we're in because of how janky the coverage ended up looking. Kendall Daniels was playing the cheetah. I think he's got to bump out with the motion. I don't know what we're doing there, but that gets out on us. We're outflanked. We don't have enough people over there, and it turns into an explosive. What I like is the very next series, first play, Illinois State comes right back to it. We're in the same call. I think we adjust to the motion properly. They run the boot. The backers covered up. The footwork by the backers is better, and it's a no gain. So no, that's not right. It's a 5-yard game. We still get outflanked. Kendall Daniels on the outside, but we adjust to it a heck of a lot better. And I thought that was good, showing that we were able to learn a little bit on the sideline. But other than that, that's about it. There was a couple of things in there, some hitting the wrong gap. We had a blitz on one where Heineke's a blitzer, split zone coming across. He has to get inside that guy, and he goes straight through the middle of him. They split us. Onasigo's footwork at backer is not great. Whenever you've got a blitz to one side, like we don't need you flying over the top, right? You got to stay kind of backside and force everything to the blitz. We can clean that stuff up, with reps and coach it. So there wasn't a whole lot of negative out there. Coverage was great. Pressure on the quarterback was great. Like I said, we were able to dictate the numbers in protection and take advantage of that. Effort was good. Only 2 missed tackles. We played a bunch of guys. We only had, I think, 46 snaps on defense, and we rotated a bunch of guys through. So
The Redbirds were not in a hurry to snap the football. That's for sure.
no, that fourth quarter disappeared on us in a hurry. But all in all, I think it's really solid. Third down numbers were really good. They were 1 of 11 on third down. I mean, that's what you're looking for. And I think they went on fourth for no, they didn't go for it on fourth. I thought they missed one on fourth. But all in all, really solid day defensively. A couple of small things to clean up. It was good to get some younger guys that don't have a lot of reps in and get them on film and get some coaching points to them. So all in all, pretty solid day. I think we came out of it healthy. I don't think there was anything that I saw health-wise defensively. So all in all, pretty good day.
The only concern I think is there were a couple instances where they are free and clear through the initial line of the defense, and I think one was Peyton Bowen, and maybe the other one was Robinson. Touchdown saving tackles.
Yeah, those were good. Really good.
Which are great tackles, and it's why they're playing safety. But you would prefer, with it being Illinois State, that they don't have those couple of plays, but they did, and the guys were in good position and made the touchdown saving tackle. But they did come free and clean a couple times in the run game.
Yep. And two of those were the one I was talking about on the blitz, and then one where I thought we were misaligned. I think Kip was lined up too far to the outside, and I think we're guessing pass, and he couldn't get back to the B gap, and it's all out to Peyton Bowen right now. So, but you're right. I think those things we can clean up, but I thought those were good tackle. That's really hard to make that tackle in that amount of space when the guy's got a full head of steam at you. So pretty good job there.
Ultimately, they gave up 151 yards of offense, and the only reason they gave up 3 points was because the offense turned it over in our own territory.
Yep, that's right.
Can't ask for much more than that.
No,
would it have been nice to have 8 sacks? Sure. But with what Illinois State was doing offensively, their mentality for this game, that just was not going to happen.
Yeah. I want to go through this real quickly for some guys that I thought made some really good plays. Kip was out over a number 2 receiver. They ran it inside. He sees run right away and comes flying in, makes a great tackle. That was really good. I have a rush by David Stone. That was excellent. I had Kendall Daniels on a screen whenever he was a short spy coming up and triggering, making a really nice play. David Stone splits a double and gets an arm out and trips up the running back, and it had a chance of being able to break through. I think Omasigo was out there, and we had some bad footwork, and he made it was a really nice play. The hump move, we talked about that by Stone. That was nice, wasn't it? I mean,
he flashed. As far as guys that were playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, I feel like David Stone was the standout of the entire defense for me.
Yep, I agree. Gentry Williams had a tackle on like a little comeback route. Great footwork, great plant and trigger on the throw. Catch tackle for like a 2-yard gain. Really nice.
He looks fantastic physically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be real. He looks like a first-round corner. That's what he looks like physically right now.
I agree.
And if the guy can just stay healthy, because he's got a really good understanding of what BV wants to accomplish in zone coverage. I think he's like a high IQ zone coverage type of guy.
Yep.
And if that shoulder can just stay right, man, he's going to have a great season.
Yep, I agree. Owen Heineke talked about the blitz, and he was out there on that first explosive on the 3rd down. That was a tough play. He had a really nice attack the line of scrimmage dip. He dips way under a lineman and comes out and makes a really nice tackle for a no gain. That was nice. Taylor Wine on the rush, we talked about that, was really nice and had some good help on the inside of that. Reggie Powers, really big hit on that play. Perfect. He's in perfect position. That's why it pays to read your keys, be where you're supposed to be in the defense. He's got great leverage, comes up, makes a big hit. Marcus Strong had a couple of violent looking plays in there. So I wanted to make sure I got some of those call outs on there for good stuff.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
A solid defensive performance in the opener.
Yep. Solid, healthy. No one played a ton of reps. Ultimately, exactly what you want in week 1.
We're going to find out what they are next week.
That's right.
So I'm very pleased with what we saw from Oklahoma's defense. All right, let's talk about the OU offense against Illinois State. But first, taking a road trip this summer? Remember to stop at Love's Travel Stops. You can't miss the heart of the highway, and with the Love's app, you can save big all summer long. You can save 10 cents per gallon on gas and up to 25 cents per gallon on auto diesel. Save with the Love's app this summer and be welcomed by clean places and friendly faces. Certain conditions may apply. See loves.com for details.
It's football time in Oklahoma, and you need beef built like our guys on the field, premium, powerful, and ready to perform. That's Didier Ranch. They're a family ranch right here in Oklahoma, raising and shipping their own beef nationwide. Steak burgers, premium ground beef, and they hand deliver next day to the Oklahoma City metro and surrounding areas. Norman, Moore, Edmond, Yukon, right from their ranch to your doorstep, faster than the Sooner schooner after a touchdown drive. Premium beef delivered. Visit DidierRanch.com and taste the luxury of tradition.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. September in Oklahoma means one thing: OU football is here. And every home game this season will feature exclusive limited edition drinkware drops from Simple Modern. That means brand new designs only available at that game and while supplies last. You can also get $5 off our podcast tumbler with promo code GameDay on simplemodern.com. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, let's talk about the OU offense against the Illinois State defense. Did very little formationally. Very little motion. I mean, Ted, there was only a handful of snaps where guys are in motion while the ball is being snapped. And that's a big part of what Ben Arbuckle does. So I would say it was stagnant, and I think that was on purpose.
Yeah.
From a formational and motion standpoint, shifts, formations, I think it was very, very limited from that standpoint. I think first and foremost, hey, Sooners got a dude at quarterback.
Yeah.
There is... we absolutely have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and there's a lot to be excited about with John Mateer in this passing game. There is. But then there's the run game, and I know that's what everyone wants us to talk about. Was it vanilla? Sure, you can call it that. But these are your core runs. The core runs that are the foundation of your offense. You can call it vanilla, but that doesn't mean like the execution wasn't where it needs to be. And they didn't really do any QB run game at all. Mateer had the touchdown run, had a handful of other carries, but they didn't dial up a lot of the things that they have in the playbook for Mateer as far as him using his legs in the run game. But the bottom line is it is hard to move people in the run game if you do not come off the rock. I feel like I've talked about this the last couple of years. They do not come off the football with enough velocity. They just don't. It is too measured. Everything is too in place. Everything is too lateral. And they couldn't move Illinois State playing that way. They sure as hell aren't going to move SEC defensive lines in Michigan playing that way. Really the only person that produced consistent movement was Fabechi Wibu. But, dude, I don't know what else to say. I don't know why they do it this way, but, like, it's hard to move people if you don't come off the ball. And the way that I see it, and it's just one guy's opinion, is they do not come off the ball with enough velocity and move people and create variables for a defense. And this is Illinois State. So I wish I could come on here and tell Sooner Nation, like, hey, this is nothing to worry about. Like, that's not how I feel. You have to come off the ball and move people. You have to make the defense react and feel threatened on the front side and on the back side of concepts. And it's just, that's not what I see when I watch them. And so I'm over here going, okay, well, how can it get better? That's kind of where I'm at. First and foremost, offensive lineman got to play. Michael Fasusi, you got to play. Derek Simmons, you got to play. Heath Ozida, you got to play. Enough of this sitting out and taking your time stuff. You got to play ball. Football players play football. Listen, and I know, and the reason I'm comfortable saying that, especially in Simmons' case, is I went through a very similar situation my senior year. Bad concussion. I was scared to go back out and play. I was. It got so bad, started seeing a psychologist, started seeing a psychiatrist, started taking Zoloft. It was not good, dude. It wasn't. But I went out and played. Did I play great? Debatable. Debatable. But you guys got to play, man. Yeah. And I know the Fasusi situation, that whole thing was scary, and they're being really cautious with him. I expect all those guys to be back and play against Michigan. They need them to. So that's the first thing. Offensive lineman, if you can go, you got to play. You got to play. Running back. Torrey Blaylock, if you're not going to create a ton of movement at the point of attack, you better have special backs that can go get something. Blaylock looked great. He by far looked like the best back on film.
I thought our offense was at its best in the second quarter whenever he was in at running back. That's when everything clicked. And
there is simply no debating that. Another way I think it can get better. So here's my list. Offensive lineman, you got to play. Running backs, there's not going to be a ton of movement. You got to give it to the most dynamic guys. The most dynamic guys we have are Blaylock and Ott. We'll get to the Ott situation. I don't know. Weird. We'll talk about it, but weird. Next way this can get better, and you probably have to pick and choose your spots, but John Mateer has to be a big part of the run game.
Yeah.
You have to create a numbers advantage in the run game. If you are not going to create a ton of movement, you've got to create an extra hat in the run game. And there's going to be some games where Mateer's going to have to run it a lot and take some hits. And it is what it is, Ted.
When you say we're not going to get a lot of movement, is that personnel driven? Is that scheme
driven? Technique
okay.
Coming off the line of scrimmage. There is very little velocity going forward coming off the line of scrimmage. It is small steps in place or lateral, and then it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know why they do it that way. I don't.
Okay.
But let's just be real. And once again, need your best offensive lineman to play. Those guys got to play. But you couldn't move Illinois State off the rock.
Yeah.
Playing that way. You're going to move Michigan, who's put how many dudes in the league on the defensive line the last couple seasons? I'm just being realistic here, man. I thought a lot about this list. How can it get better? Offensive linemen have to play. You got to give it to the most dynamic backs. Mateer's got to be a bigger factor in the run game. And then you have to become a good perimeter, attack the edges of the defense run team. Our longest run of the day was the Deion Burke speed sweep, attacking the edge of the defense.
Yeah.
All the counter stuff in between the tackles. I mean, other than Blaylock's touchdown run, which he's got some good instincts, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he just feels some things that the other guys don't. But other than that, it was an unremarkable night in the run game. Let's just be honest.
And I'll say, I think the perimeter stuff is coming. You know, we talked about it on the In the Weeds, things to watch, some of the pin pull stuff. We didn't see any of that, but we did see like the fake pin pull toss. And I think that was one of Mateer's called run plays, right? I mean, so you have to imagine that those actual plays are going to be in. And I don't know, maybe that'll be the game plan against Michigan. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to show much. I agree with that. I know people are out there saying that. I agree with that. But the vanilla stuff,
Got to be
that's what you
better.
want to call it. Your split zones, they ran this five. It's basically, I'll just call it like a 5-box tackle power, where Illinois State's in a 5-man box. You've got one gap scheme combination up to a linebacker, and the other one, like the tackle is pulling around and inserting on the other inside backer in the 5-man box look. I was just calling it, sub tackle power. I don't know what they're calling it, but
That's an old Kevin Wilson play.
it is.
That's what he
And
brought whenever he
they
first
didn't
came
have
to
much
OU.
success on it, Ted, because the double team was not, they were not moving people off the ball. I mean, it is. I'm trying not to get too frustrated because you're hoping that, once again, your best offensive lineman will play. But you played Illinois State, and your longest run of the game is a speed sweep to Deion Burks for 12 yards. That's disappointing, man. There's no other way to say it. Like, that's extremely disappointing that you couldn't find more. No matter how vanilla it is, that you couldn't find more than that. Like, that's makes
And
me
I'm
sad is
guessing,
what it does. Like, it makes me sad. I'm not going to lie.
yeah. And I guess it like that's not like the technique and how they come off. You were talking about kind of the shorter step.
Well,
That's not something you'd like flip a switch on mid-season, is it?
A lot of my philosophy, like how I like offensive lines to play, is, interestingly enough, comes from my time with Kevin Wilson. I can thousands of times where he just screamed at us, run off the football. There were some other words in there, but basically the message is run off the football, be an athlete, run off the football. And that's inside zone, outside zone, counter, power, whatever. Run off the ball, play violent, and play with velocity. And I don't know. I feel like it's like they're playing with like a governor on or something, man. I don't know. It's just hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's too measured for me. And I feel like I've been complaining about it for a while now, and the run game has not been good, so I feel justified in my complaints. That's kind of how I see it. But if they come out and rush for 250 and beat Michigan, I'm going to be the happiest man in the world,
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see, but now that the negative is out of the way, the run game, yeah, it was not good. I was not encouraged by what I saw, other than Blaylock looks like he's going to be a dude now.
Yep.
There's a lot to be excited about with Torrey Blaylock. And it seemed like his shoulder was okay, by the way.
Good. Yeah, because he went in, got it looked at, and then came back on the sideline.
Came back, still had his pads on, had his helmet in his hand, even put his gloves back on. Wasn't like moving it around or anything like that. I kind of had an eye on him. He seemed like he was good. But let's just go kind of position by position now, Ted, that I've gotten my run game frustrations out. John Mateer is good, man. Set the OU debut record for passing yards, so that'll work. I think you just saw a lot about what makes him so exciting. They didn't ask him to do much with his legs, which I didn't mind at all. But his ability to give his receivers chance to make plays is fantastic. And his willingness to rip the ball into the middle of the field with zero hesitation is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think of all of the big plays we had in the middle of the field. We may have had more big plays in the middle of the field in this game than we had all of last season.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, their underneath zone coverage, I'm just going to be honest, was horrible. There were some massive windows that he was thrown into, but there are also some tighter ones where still he is seeing it clearly. He's throwing it with confidence. Sure, he missed a couple low late in the game, especially.
Mhm.
But I was really, really pleased with what I saw from him, and the interception, not his fault. Burks doesn't need to work to the hook player the way that he did. Mateer put that ball right where I believe, and I think you agree with me, that ball should be, and Burks has got to sit in that void in the zone. But other than that, I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah, which, you know, the interception points to something that I actually love about Mateer is he is not throwing to players. He is throwing to windows, right? And it's coming there right now. So as a wide receiver, you better get your head turned around and get to where you're supposed to be, because that ball is going to be there and it's going to be on you right away. That's a good sign of a experienced, developed, high level quarterback. He's not waiting until a guy is open, seeing him, then throwing it. He's hitting the window right now.
Precision.
Yeah.
You better be precise in your routes with Mateer back there, because he's more often than not, he's going to throw it to where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
And that trust, that bond, like you got to continue to develop that. Now that we're in the season, let's get to the wide receivers. Deion Burks, thought he looked explosive, man.
Yeah.
Still weird seeing him in 4 for whatever reason. I don't know why.
There's always an adjustment period after we shuffle the numbers for a new season.
He had 7 for 88, had the touchdown, looked really fast. I like that route. Whether you want to call it kind of a deep slant or kind of a short post, whatever you want to call it, ball was driven right on the money from Mateer. Burks looked fast. Every time I see him, I was like, is that Mario Williams? What? But he is, I thought he looked really good. He hobbled off in the second half. He was just cramping. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. Isaiah Satania, you look at the box score, not a big day, but the 16-yard catch he did have, he looked really quick. And I thought Mateer, if he wanted to, could have let it rip to him and given him a chance on a couple of the deep over routes and some of the max protection stuff. He chose not to do that. Okay. But the most encouraging thing about Satania is the way he looked in the punt return game, Ted.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He looked like he can be a difference maker for this team at wide receiver and a big difference maker for this team as a punt returner.
Yep.
That's encouraging.
We talked about that whenever we were going through his stuff in the transfer portal, and he's quick initial move, and he's fast, smooth.
Keontez Lewis, 9 for 119 and 2 touchdowns. Love both of the touchdowns. Now the second one, guy kind of falls down. It's okay. Played through the contact, makes a nice catch. The other one, great job by Deion Burks to run the deep zone defender off. Keontez Lewis comes into the void right behind it. Ball's on time. Super accurate from Mateer. Just a really well-executed concept there.
I love that on that play, that DB's eyes. He's like, oh, I'm going to catch this. Keontez Lewis comes flying across. That was nice.
And the only other thing I have for Keontez Lewis is the black cleats look good, man.
They look good.
I know everyone wears white cleats because it makes you look fast on film. I get that. The black cleats, it is such a good look, dude. It's amazing. I love it. Didn't really see Jacob Jordan had the big catch on the bender, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. That was weird. He kind of disappeared from the football game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know what that was. I don't know if he jogged in because someone had to come out or what, but yeah, I'm with you.
I think he played 2 or 3 snaps, made a big catch, and then I don't think we saw him again, which is bizarre. But Carione, Zion Kearney, I mean, very little from any guys other than Burks, Satania, and Lewis, which isn't how they've really done it here in the past. But maybe that's how it is in the National Football League, Ted. So,
Any any thoughts on Giovanni Gibson?
Looks
Like what
amazing in a jersey.
I saw him
We
out there pregame.
we we have to change something when it comes to Giovanni Gibson.
Okay.
Did you see his jersey?
I did, but I didn't notice anything.
Number 11 looks amazing. Nameplate JV Gibson. No, can't do that. JV, that's what it said. JV Gibson.
So it should just be Gibson until uh Jay
Until there's another Jay Gibson available for the football team,
right.
just throw Gibson on there. Don't throw JV Gibson. The jokes write themselves. I mean, you can't put JV Gibson. Can't do that.
That's funny. I
Which
hope he
means the other
passes.
way. Does that mean Jaden Gibson is going to say Jay Gibson?
Good question.
Can't. Come on. Just put his full name on there. Just put Giovanni Gibson on it before you JV. Like, oh, he couldn't even make varsity. Look at JV Gibson. No, we can't do that. We got to fix that. Got to fix that. Another uniform note. I've never been more jealous of anything in my life than the captaincy.
That
Now,
is cool.
I don't love the font. I don't care. I've been lobbying for that for years, for over a decade, and I'm not exaggerating.
It's pretty cool.
And I have never been more jealous of anything in my life, and I mean that. Being a captain at Oklahoma is maybe, other than being like a husband and a father, is like the biggest accomplishment of my life. And I would have done anything to have that C on my jersey.
Well,
Can
AI will be able to go back and put the C on your jersey and all your film and everything someday.
What about the painting, the mural? It's done. All those guys, we could have had C's on the chest, Ted.
Ah, that's right.
Dang it.
Which that thing is awesome, by the way.
We'll talk about that another time. We got ball to talk about. Even
Yeah.
though Carlos Barboza, you are an incredibly talented man. Well done. Okay, running back. Uh, Jay Knott. What was that?
I don't know.
He's making a lot of money just to return kickoffs. We didn't see him until the 13-minute mark in the fourth quarter at running back, which, just based on his body language on the sideline, like I was under the impression he wasn't even going to play on offense, but he was out there on special teams, and I was over there like trying to reason that out in my head, how that made sense.
Well, I think that he was out there on kickoff, but the plan was we're not returning any kickoffs. And then the opening kickoff, he didn't catch. It dropped on like the 5, and it looked like he was kind of panicked, and it ended up running into the end zone. So it was not an issue, but I don't know. I'm with you.
He had one carry for what, -2 yards, and then went in motion and Mateer threw it out there at his feet, and that was it. I don't know what else to say other than that was very strange. I don't know. Javonte Barnes got the start, 7 carries for 9 yards. Still absolutely brings the physicality and pass protection, but he is what he is, man. He did not look particularly dynamic. I don't know if you saw it differently, Ted, but you compare what he looked like to what Torrey Blaylock looked like, and 6 looked like he had a lot more juice than 2, you know?
Yeah. My feeling with Barnes is the gap scheme stuff for him, especially since we don't get a lot of movement the way we block it, doesn't suit him very well, like the patient runs.
He's a one-cut true zone guy.
Yep.
And we don't really do that.
Right.
So I am like his most successful runs of the game were the stuff where we're running that split zone concept and the offensive line's taking a wider track It's
Mhm.
still way too lateral. They don't dent the front side. The ball never threatens the front side of the defense. I'm complaining again. Here I go. But he makes one cut, gets downhill, solid run.
Yep.
But yeah, it is what it is. Like Torrey Blaylock looked like our best running back, obviously,
Yep. I agree.
and had the I like the physicality he finished runs with. I thought that he displayed the best just feel, instincts, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's a couple runs where Illinois State is not disciplined on the backside and he just takes it out the back door. I don't know how he sees it or how he feels it. He just does.
Mhm.
Had another couple nice runs that way. Once again, really hope I think his shoulder's fine. I'm hoping because we need that guy against Michigan. But we've got one game to look at, but you and I were able to see a lot of training camp. Like he is going to be a very big piece of this offense.
I agree.
And I like the way that he caught it out of the backfield. Had a nice gain on the swing screen. Just looks very fluid, very natural catching the football. He looked like our most complete back by a wide margin.
Yeah. And I agree. I think he is going to be a huge part of the offense, and he may be the offense depending on what the situation Jaden Ott is. I don't know.
I don't know. Any guesses? I don't know. I don't know. We did see some of Xavier Robinson. It was interesting. It's like he couldn't run through any of the trash.
Mm-hmm.
And to his defense, not a ton of space. It's not like he was operating in a ton of space or anything like that. But it kind of felt like he got that leg picked by the first guy each and every time and got tripped up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, Jaren Kanak. Don't want to fumble, but love the way he bounced back from that.
Yep.
Now he leaves a lot desired to be desired as a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of knew that was going to be the case.
Right.
It's his first year playing the position. He's undersized for the position.
I mean, I maintain he's not a tight end.
He's not.
You know?
You're right. You're right. He's
not tight end.
He's like the
fullback. Yeah.
Fullback, H-back, whatever you want to call it. He's a playmaker is what he is.
Yep. That's
what he is. He's a football player. He's dynamic, and 5 for 90, including the big 48-yarder. He's going to be a weapon in the pass game, man. The key for Kanak is that they have to set him up for success in the run game. He needs to be a split zone guy, going back and cutting the end man on the line of scrimmage in his legs. He needs to be a zone insert guy, going up and collisioning with some of these undersized inside backers we see. Like Michigan has 2 inside backers. One hits people as hard as I've ever seen a backer hit people. And the other one's like 230 pounds. Let's send Kanak to number 15, the 230-pound guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He lost some battles at the point of attack in some of the gap scheme run game where he's in line and being asked to play tight end against better competition. That is not going to go well for him. So don't make him do it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's kind of my analysis on that. Will Huggins.
Let me say this real quick about Kanak. Hand him the ball.
Yes. Did you see the way that LSU used Thomas, number 0?
Yep.
Playing wide receiver, playing back. Like, you can hand Kanak the ball. You're going to have a hard time convincing me he wouldn't be one of our best options to hand the ball.
That's what I'm saying right now. Yep.
Especially in short yardage.
Yep.
Just saying. Something to think about. Will Huggins. Thought he struggled in the run game. Not surprising. He did have one catch for 15 yards, and it was a dirty route. It was nice. Like, really nice. But if you watch Huggins closely, I think it's clear why Kanak's TE won, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Carson Kent didn't play a ton, but when he did, he is without a doubt. Now I've got a handful of snaps that I'm evaluating this on, but he is without a doubt our best blocking tight end we've got. I I mean, that's just what the tape says to me.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Hey, once Caden Helms gets the use of both hands back, I think he will be a factor for this team. But maybe the way that Carson Kent got in there and mixed it up, like just simple things, like he's on the backside of split zone, and he comes off with velocity, flying inside to try to cut that guy off or to make that guy feel like he's getting cut off. And then he kind of tips him inside. Like it's just
the bubble to try and get inside. Yep.
Yeah, but it's just he was coming off the rock a little bit, and some of the split zones stuff going back, really collisioning guys. I thought he played fast and violent, and we know we can add a little bit in the throw game as a route runner, but I thought he looked like the best point of attack tight end in the run game that we got.
Yep.
He's a handful of snaps.
He's pretty good all the way around. Like we've talked about him in the throw game, and I think he's got really good hands. So I agree.
Last but certainly not least, the offensive line. I've already voiced my displeasure in the run game, so we don't need to redo that. As frustrated as I was about the run game, I thought they were really, really good in pass protection. Assignment sound, good technique, good hands, good anchors. Now, guys got pulled late a couple of times, like Buklenko got pulled late a couple times. Got to keep your hips engaged. Got to really squeeze that core. Like you can't relax, if that makes sense. But other than that, man, Mateer was clean in the pocket. There was one where it was 5-man protection. They were showing 6 up. I thought we made it too easy on them from a protection standpoint. We just automatically squeezed the right side and let the guy on the right run free. And Mateer didn't look like he knew that was happening. But other than that, I thought the protection was really clean. And that's something to be encouraged about. Like I was really pleased with the way that they protected John Mateer in this game when he was dropping back to pass. There are a couple of play action concepts. There's actually Foj both times where they're pulling Foj and he is pulling for an inside backer, and that backer kind of triggers and comes. He gave up a sack on one of them, and the other one he got a hold. Mm-hmm. So he probably wants to burn that concept to the ground. But other than that, man, I thought the protection was good. Let me just run through these guys. I feel awful for Sexton. I played 6 snaps. I watched them all probably 5 or 6 times trying to find out what happened to his knee. I couldn't see anything on the tape, but he had a heavy tape job on his knee, noticeable limp on the sideline. He played 6 snaps and he was done for the day, man. The guy can't buy a break. I hate it for him, man.
Wouldn't have been on an extra point or anything, would it? Or he was out before that.
I did not look at that. No, that we hadn't scored yet.
Yeah, that's what
we didn't score on the, yeah.
Okay.
So no, I don't know. Michael Fasusi looks fantastic in a jersey. Need him ready to go for practice on Monday. Need him. Got to have him. Game day's coming. 5-star freshman. Come on, Fasusi. Got to be ready to roll. Logan Howland. I thought Logan played a pretty solid game. He had a false start, which never great, but thought he did some solid things in the run game. Now, not creating a ton of movement, but he wasn't stalemating at the line of scrimmage like a lot of the other guys were the majority of the time. I thought that the couple times when they pulled him on that 5-man box kind of tackle power scheme that I talked about, it looked like he was running well, moving well. He's got to be ready to strike people if they're going to run that play a lot, though. And when you strike backers, like when they see that pull, they know what's coming. You better get your pads down and you better dip and strike on contact because you're going to play some violent inside backers coming up. That kid from Michigan, I can't stop thinking about him.
Is he the one that's out for the first half?
Yes.
Not a shock.
He got ejected for targeting in their opener and will miss the first half.
Well, it's a good thing you can't target offensive linemen because he does that all the time.
We are going to break that guy down and in the weeds. Or at least I'll try to find a clip. He murders offensive linemen. He's more interested. We're getting distracted, but he's more interested in messing dudes up than he is in making tackles. I'm convinced. I thought that Howland was good in pass protection. Anchor looks better than it did a year ago. I kind of view it as a performance to build on. Now, if Fasusi and Simmons are your two tackles, Howland's a heck of a good option as a swing tackle, man. Mm-hmm. So I feel good about where Logan Howland is in his development. Luke Buklenko, solid job covering guys up. Got pulled in a couple pass protection scenarios, but with what I saw from him at camp, and I know the competition that he was playing against OU's defense was much better when I was watching, but I did not think he had a particularly good training camp, and he went out there and he ended up having to play a ton of snaps and graded out pretty well. Was it dominant and violent and that type of stuff that I want to see? No, it wasn't. But okay. Hito Zaida, got to get back. Got to get back. I don't know how else to say it. Got to have him on the field. Troy Everett, nothing really of note for Captain Everett. Just it continues to cover guys up at a good clip. That's the type of player he is. And I don't say that as like an insult or anything like that. Like I think he gets the most out of his physical tools. I really do.
Yeah.
He got put in a weird spot on both of the screens. And my advice to Troy would be like, hey, if the D lineman sniffs it out, just block him. Just block the guy. Mm-hmm. But there was the one that it was a bad call to the kind of the
screen.
No, I like the angle screen.
Okay.
That's almost a touchdown if that one defensive tackle doesn't sniff it out. Like to Blaylock.
Did he sniff it out, or did he just fall ass backwards into it?
Did not get much of a rush going. But yeah, it's kind of a lot of people call it Texas route, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of a little Texas route screen to Blaylock in the middle of the field. He had big fellas out in front of him, and there was space. So I liked that play. But the other one was like the little tunnel screen to Satania, but they were in a kind of a condensed formation. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There was no space. It was a weird call, but Everett got put in a weird spot on both of those. Saw a lot of Jake Michaela. Not a ton of movement in the run game. His strength continues to be his ability to bend and anchor in pass protection. Just bear with me, people. We've been in the weeds. This is as deep as it goes. He has to fix his left foot and his left knee in his stance. He turns his left foot in and he puts his left knee in. And that makes it very difficult for him to open his left hip when he's supposed to go that way. And it gets him slightly behind. And several of his worst reps of the night, he's going that way, having to open that hip. And his foot is not in the ground as quickly as it should be because of the alignment of his left foot and his left knee. Thank you for coming to my offensive line TED Talk. You've got to, if you want knees slightly in, kind of like feel like your hip flexors are engaged, kind of like you're squeezing a medicine ball in between like a big medicine ball in between your thighs with your toes turned slightly out. With your weight in your end steps at center to where you can push off and go either way. Now you can, if you know that you're flying off the ball one way, I'm going too deep, I know, but I'm going to finish.
I'm doing it here in the chair and it engages the glutes, I think.
Yes, engage the glutes.
That's where all your power is.
Yes, but weight in your instep so you can press off and really load up and go. Like if you're flying up, if you're running boot left, that you can load that instep on your right foot a little bit. You can't see it visually. The defensive line can't see it, but you can feel it in your feet and you press off, and that way you can really open that hip and go. But he need that. My My advice would be fix that.
Yeah.
Just I
There you go.
I played the position. I like to think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. Fabechi Wiwu, hands down OU's best offensive lineman in this football game by a pretty wide margin. He is really the only guy that generates any type of consistent movement at the point of attack with the technique that they're playing with. Maybe they just need 5 Fabechis, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
he bumped over and played left guard when Foje came in and played. Foje played a ton of snaps, but he didn't look as natural or as comfortable at left guard as he does at right guard. That's no surprise at all. But if that ends up being the lineup, I anticipate Fabechi looking more and more comfortable at left guard. But that I think that would only be natural for him to happen. But thought he was really good in pass protection. Anchor looks good. He's moving great. He's everything that all the coaches have been saying about him. He looks fantastic. He's our best O lineman, and I think anyone that knows what they're looking at can tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's obvious. Ryan Foje, beyond excited about what this guy is going to be. It was his first college football action. He did not play to the level he is capable of playing to. And it's probably not shocking. Like you're out there for the first time, 80,000 people. It's just, whoa, okay, things are moving quick. But he did not generate the movement in the run game that I have seen him generate in practice against much better defensive linemen. So I think that it looked maybe just a little hesitant, a little unsure, a little in place. I think it's only getting better from there. I mentioned the play action concept that put him in kind of a bad spot. Those were his big negative plays. But other than that, like if you try to run down the middle of this guy, Ted, it is over, brother, in pass protection.
Yeah.
Over. I mean, there are guys that give a little ground. These guys, if they ran the middle down the middle of number 70, it was over. Which, once again, a lot to be encouraged about. He's going to have a fantastic career at Oklahoma. Derek Simmons didn't play. Said my piece on that. I know what he's feeling like. I hate that for him, but he's a starter for this football team. Hope that we see him against Michigan. The only other guy I haven't talked about is Eddie Pierre-Louis. Got the start. I was really excited to watch 55 play. It's the same thing, man. He's got to get his pads down. He's got to get his hands inside. If he does not improve his technique, what's the best way to put this? If he does not improve his technique, it will be a problem if we are in a situation where he needs to play against the best teams we're going to play.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way I can put it.
Fair.
That's all I got, man. Passing game, explosiveness, Mateer just ripping it down the field. Really exciting. Running game, got to get better, man.
Yep.
Got to get better. That's kind of how I saw it. And it was very vanilla from a formation, motion, shift, exotics, like no trick play, like any of that stuff. There was none of it. So I am hopeful that this thing is getting cranked up against Michigan.
Yeah. Let's hope.
That was a lot of talking. I apologize.
It's all right. No, we're good. Had to do it. All right. That's what everyone wants to talk about.
Let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys your number one takeaway from OU's win over Illinois State. This one comes from at EAVRIETT. The PA system did too much. Couldn't hear the band most of the time when they were trying to play. Couldn't hear the crowd at points of the game. Other than that, was a solid showing at the game. What was going on with that, dude? That was crazy. It was so loud.
I couldn't hear it because I had my headset on up in the press box. Ear piercing.
Yes, like overmodulated to where the speakers were like crackling. It was so loud. I don't know what was going on. Like it's literally like someone turned the volume up too loud. I don't know if that was by design or what, but the amount of call your shot responses we got about the volume of the PA system was insane. I mean, we're
Wow.
talking 20 plus responses.
Yeah, let's balance it out a little bit up there. Hey, first game, work all the kinks out.
This other one comes from the Boomer something. I cut off the name. I'm sorry, the Boomer something. This is pretty funny though. Since last season was so traumatic, I think the fan base is having a difficult time celebrating a 390-yard passing game.
Yeah,
Mateer delivered a great game, a couple early season flubs that are to be expected to shake the rust. Boomer.
yeah, yeah.
I agree, but I'm of the belief that OU football has one of the most dialed in and invested fan bases in sports, not just college football. Like we live here, Ted. These people are all in. And these people know how important it is to be able to run the ball efficiently.
They know what it looks like.
And they know what it looks like. And what we saw against Illinois State, like throwing the football, that's what it looks like, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers running fast, good timing routes, quarterback ripping it down the field with confidence. We didn't see that with the run game. That run game's not what it looks like. And OU fans are smart enough and know what it looks like. Like they have the right to go, man, that's not good enough. And that's just I think our fan base is one of the most educated fan bases there is, and that they are completely within their rights to have that be the takeaway from the game.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean that's just how it's going to be. I mean you're not that's not going to change. It would take a long time of being really bad for that to change, and let's hope that doesn't happen.
You want to talk about Texas losing? Will that make
Yeah,
that'll take some of the run game frustrations
shift
away?
some gears.
All right, let's recap the best games of week 1 of college football. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
and head to the garage for hand smash patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, let's recap the big games of week 1 in college football, Ted. And let's start with what went down in Columbus. Down goes number 1. The Ohio State Buckeyes win it 14-7. Now, first of all, shout out to these two programs for playing these games.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. It's what we want. It's fantastic. Appreciate you guys. Fantastic. Two really good defenses, Ted. That was my takeaway, is that both of these teams, they got some units on that defensive side of the ball.
Totally agree. And hats off to Patricia for coming in year 1 and they've lost some guys, but to be able to step right in and put together a great game plan week one. I mean, no time to ease into it at all at DC. Yeah, I thought they looked great on defense.
What did you think of the way that the quarterbacks played? Because clearly Archman is going to get a lot of criticism. He didn't go out there and look like the best quarterback that's ever lived in a really tough road start. It is what it is. But 17 to 30, the touchdown, the interception was a really bad throw on that
Bad
sail
throw.
route.
Yep.
But one of the things that I noticed that I have been extremely complimentary of Steve Sarkisian in the past is like he does a awesome job of creating layups for his quarterback. And by layups, I mean just easy throws to guys in the flat that somehow have 8 yards of space between them and a defender, and they get to go be athletes in space and make a guy miss and rip off a big play. There were very few, none of those. Like, I feel like Arch Manning had very few layups in this game, and they made him play it from the pocket, read out that coverage, play on time, and he didn't handle that stuff particularly well. And Ohio State's defensive backs were all over Texas's wide receivers.
Yep.
Like white on rice, baby. Covered them up. I mean, that was an impressive performance by that Ohio State secondary.
No, I thought Ohio State looked really good. I thought Arch was hesitant, rattled. And I haven't gone back and poured over it. I was just watching it as it unfolded, but I'd be curious to see if some of those layups are there and he didn't get to them. I don't know if that's the case at all. But here's the thing I'll say about Texas. Sarkisian gets Sarkisian and the offense get all of the headlines and all of the talk. But the last 3 years, it ain't close. That is a defensive led football team. And I find myself constantly underwhelmed at the numbers that they end up putting up offensively. Like last couple of years, I've thought, maybe it's Quinn Ewers. Like, he's great when he's perfectly protected and they get the coverage they want and he can put the ball where he wants. But if it's not there and they got to go through reads, it just falls apart on them. I don't know. Like, if they're going to be a national championship caliber program, like a lot of people have already labeled them, their offense needs to get a lot better, in my opinion. And it's game one. I think it will this year. I think both of those teams are going to get better. I thought Sayan did a pretty good job. I would target number 4 a little bit more, and there were some opportunities to get him the ball, and I think Smith had a drop early, but
he had a couple. Maybe that's why Sayan was like, "Hey, I'm not throwing it at this guy anymore. He keeps dropping it."
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was a high level game. I thought it was going to be low scoring, but I didn't think it was going to be that low scoring.
Sayan played a clean game.
Yeah.
No critical errors, which in a game like that, like, that's big.
And
maybe the best way to
Patricia, like, that's like Belichick's thing against rookie quarterbacks, like make them beat you from the pocket, change some stuff, make it difficult visually. Like, we may have to give up some things here and there, but we're going to put the onus on the quarterback.
I thought Sayan played exactly the way they needed him to play. He had the one big time throw to Carnell Tate for that touchdown, and that was kind of enough.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about how bad Texas is at running quarterback sneaks?
That was beyond bad.
That was What were they? 1 of 5 on fourth down? That is where the game was won and lost.
Yeah.
Texas got stuffed on why you ran QB sneak right there. I have no idea. Texas gets stuffed at the 1 yard line on 4th and 1 in the first half. Ohio State punches it in with CJ Donaldson, 4th and 1.
Yep.
That's a game. But yeah, they have their goal line red zone issues. They continue to be issues.
Yep.
Anything else on that game? They didn't have many explosives in the run game. I think the longest run was that when Arch had like a 15-yard scramble, which we're used to seeing them rip off some big chunk runs. It was a really good performance from that Ohio State defense.
Shockingly good, considering all of the moving parts and game one for Patricia.
Can I give you a Texas thought?
Yeah.
I think they miss Gunnar Helm a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I know that
name from Cal?
Injuries. He had a big catch late that kind of set him up on that final drive.
Yeah.
But the way that Helm worked the middle of the field for them last year, especially in big games, ways.
Screens,
like
empty, and they would check him down and let him run.
Arch doesn't have that security blanket. And we'll see if injuries can become that. But that was one of the things is I was just like, man, I feel like Gunnar Helm was like their big game, find him when you absolutely have to have it type of guy in the middle of the field. And I don't know, it felt like that was missing from that game.
Yeah. And what was the kid's name? The big athletic tight end before
Sanders.
Helm? Yeah. I mean, he was a big weapon for Quinn Ewers as well. So yeah, that could be something if that's missing from their offense for the whole year.
Clearly, number 3 beat number 1, big deal. But we have not touched on the most important discussion point to come out of this game. Does Ryan Day have his nipple pierced or not?
Dude,
the visual evidence is hard to deny.
I felt very uncomfortable for the length of time I spent looking at that picture. And the only thing I could think was, number one, this is like a Photoshop job by Michigan. Okay. And I don't know how to tell. And I haven't seen if people say that. And number two, the only other excuse I could think is like, whenever sometimes they like clip their headset cord to their shirt, like maybe that left a mark there.
Ted, you and I both know they clip it to the back. They don't clip it to the front.
That's the only thing. Like those are the only outs I can give. Otherwise, yes.
Listen, if you win a national championship and the way you want to celebrate it is by getting that nipple pierced, more power to you, brother. More power to you, brother. I just think it was it cold? No, maybe he was just so excited about the environment. Like he had the juices were flowing. He was getting, when you get the chills a little bit before a really big game, maybe that was it. And it just, thing was rocked up.
It got his 3 nipples hard on the left side. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. If you don't know what we're talking about, go check it out.
You got to throw some athletic tape over that thing or something, or pull it out on game day, because I mean, I'm with you. I'm giving it a 90% chance that is in fact a pierced nipple.
Ohio State beat. You know what you have to do this week at the presser. We all need it. You got to ask. You got to ask. I mean, he'll
show up to the presser with a new shirt, like the pocket over the nipple now.
If that happens, if he has a sense of humor, he should absolutely do that, because that will kick off. It will just pour gasoline onto the conversation.
That's so good.
LSU went to Death Valley. Death Valley Junior beat Clemson 17-10. Told ya.
You got it. You nailed it.
I once again, shout out to these teams for playing this game. Awesome. Fantastic. I just thought at some point, like statistically speaking, LSU was going to win an opener. That was my analysis. And coming into the year, one of my big questions of the entire SEC was, does LSU have a championship level defense? I I think they're going to see better offenses than Clemson, but that LSU defense, it looked like the changes that they made, the guys they brought in, looked pretty salty, Ted.
Yeah, I thought they looked good. I thought the question for me was what would the secondary be able to gel? I thought they did a really good job. They looked dynamic at backer. Saw some nice plays from those guys, and they had Klubnik under pressure. They were physical in the run game. I mean, Klubnik was a lot of people's favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, and they came out and made that Clemson offense really struggle. And I don't want to say they made the Clemson offense look bad. There's a difference between whenever you see a bad offense and you see a good offense playing against a really good defense. And that's what it looked like to me, if that makes sense.
I completely agree. I thought the difference in the game was offensive balance. Clemson could not run the ball against that LSU defense. 19 carries for 32 yards. That is horrendous.
At home, yeah.
At home. So it put way too much on Cade Klubnik's shoulders and having to drop back and just make play after play after play. Yeah, and Antonio Williams going out really early in the game did not help anything either.
No.
But I was really impressed with LSU, and it was interesting to see they recognized how good the defense was playing, and they got pretty conservative offensively. Like, how many things at the line of scrimmage did Nussmeier throw in the last 6-7 minutes of the game?
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. LSU, I thought LSU's defense looked really good, but I thought Clemson's defense looked really good too. I mean, anything that they created, they had to earn. I mean, you're making tough catches against guys competing for the football.
Dude, best catch of the game, maybe the best catch of the weekend, maybe the best throw of the weekend to Barry Brown. He catches it I thought it was a touchdown. They end up saying he didn't complete the process of the catch. What was that? That was a touchdown, man. This game, the final score of this game should have been 24-10.
How about the catch by Bauer Sharp where he just couldn't reach that toe down? He looked pretty good out there.
Had an early fumble, not great, but other than that, yeah.
I'm with you.
That was a touchdown, man. Like that was a touchdown.
People get like enamored with the ball hitting the ground, and this is one of those where you're never going to be convince people one way or the other. It's like, how is it wired in your brain? If the ball hits the ground and moves at all, there's a group of people say it's incomplete no matter what. But I think if you've got the ball, if you caught the ball, you've controlled the ball, you got your foot in bounds, and it moves like in your control, it's a touchdown. It's a catch.
There's nothing better than the entire broadcast team being like, oh, what a throw, what a catch, what a touchdown. And then they come on and they go, oh, that'll be incomplete. It's like, right. oh, this is awkward.
Which it was like, you go back to the Ohio State-Texas game, like it's almost the same play called differently to a degree,
I still think it was a touchdown. I've watched it like 10 times. That was a touchdown in my mind. High
level play, no matter what, from quarterback, receiver, and defensive back. That's like as competitive of a play as you're going to see.
Good football. I thought, the matchup everyone was talking about coming into the game was LSU's offensive line against that extremely talented Clemson's defensive line. And I thought LSU's offensive line played really well, all things considered. You're in a crazy environment on the road against that defensive line. I was really impressed with the way that group played.
Yep.
They looked better than their O-line did a year ago. And now it's only been one performance. But I thought those guys really battled. I was impressed.
I like some of the stuff they did in the run game. Caden Durham continues to look really good. I really wish we would have got him in recruiting, but LSU's going to be good this year. Because, again, just kind of like the same thing with Texas and Ohio State, I'd say the same thing with Clemson and LSU. I don't think either one of those teams have peaked.
I'm with you. Last thought on that game, it's really hard to win a massive game when you don't score in the second half at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to do. But I think Clemson's going to have a really good season. They're going to be in the playoff. It's hard to imagine them not being in. And a lot of people expecting a big year from LSU. And after one game, I think those people are feeling good about their prediction.
Yes.
Last game. We had a close eye on Auburn Baylor on Friday night. The Auburn Tigers go to Waco and win it 38-24. And Ted, how about this formula for going and winning on the road? 308 yards rushing and a special teams touchdown.
There you go.
That'll work. That's a good formula, brother.
Yep.
Jackson Arnold ran wild. Now, did Jackson Arnold look super confident in the pocket? No. Did he look like he was seeing coverage extremely well and making quick decisions and distributing the football to that wide receiver core? No. Were his legs the reason they won the football game? Absolutely.
Yep.
137 yards rushing, 2 long touchdowns. All that matters is that you win the game, and they went on the road against a team that a lot of people think is a contender in the Big 12, and they won by 2 touchdowns because Jackson Arnold was really good as a runner in this game.
And I saw a lot of people make this comment. I mean, that was literally Alabama 2.0 performance for Jackson Arnold. Just pretty much getting it all done in the run game. I was most impressed with Auburn on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. I thought their offensive line just absolutely dominated. I thought their defensive line was incredibly physical. They're big on the D line and strong. That's going to be tough. Baylor, that kick return for a touchdown just totally took the wind out of the sails. They were starting to get something going. They had a couple of tough calls go against them, but just physically, athlete-wise, outmatched.
I thought the 2 biggest moments in the game were the kickoff return touchdown that Auburn had. That guy can fly, by the way.
Yep, he can.
Ooh, he looked fast. But the other one was early. It's 3-0 Baylor. Baylor goes for it on 4th and 3 from the 3. Auburn's defense gets a stop. You don't get the stop there, it's 10-0. That game's probably feeling pretty different. That place is probably goes to a different level when it comes to the energy there. But I thought that stop kind of settled them down. And then remember, after they get that stop, they take the ball 96, 97 yards and go score a touchdown to go up 7-3.
Yep.
I thought that was a huge swing in the game. And apparently Baylor is all in on the analytics, man. They were very aggressive in 4th downs.
I know it's nothing new, but the amount of times I saw people go for it on fourth down in their own territory in week 1 and including week 0 was staggering.
Welcome. Welcome, Ted. It's here. The analytics era of college football is here. Two more thoughts on the Baylor Auburn game. Number one, I was very, very confident Auburn was going to win the game the second I saw the jerseys Baylor was wearing. Those are not big game jerseys, Baylor.
I'm trying to remember now.
They were like, I don't even know if they were black. The way that the light was
black
hitting them,
and
they looked like
green
the darkest charcoal gray with like a gold chrome helmet, which I don't necessarily mind, but from the wide shot, you couldn't see the Baylor logo at all on the chrome helmet.
Yeah.
Like when Oregon wears the chrome, you can still see the duck wings. You got to be able to see the logo. I need to be able to tell that that is Baylor.
You know how I feel. But if you don't have a brand that everybody knows, maybe it doesn't matter.
But they've got cooler black jerseys than that they've like black, green, and gold. That's a sick color combination. And then they came out in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
the ultimate goal in a big game like that is people that are flipping through, which who flips through channels anymore. But the point is when your
eyes go to the Baylor game in the quad box,
you have to know exactly who's playing right then. That's what you need. That's the main point of branding your uniform. People need to know instantly.
Baylor did not do that.
Right.
That being said, I do think Baylor can win the Big 12. I like the Michael Trigg kid.
That's probably the best O-line and best D-line they're going to face, best receiving core.
It's the best team they're going to play.
Yeah.
All season long. It is definitely, it's the most talented team they're going to play all season long. And they did some stuff offensively where I like some of Sawyer Robertson's weapons.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened at USC or at Ole Miss with Michael Trigg, but I know this. He's going to catch a lot of passes for Baylor.
Yep.
He was a matchup problem for Auburn.
Yep.
Bryson Washington, really good back. Hey, shout out to that young man. He's a demon in pass protection. I mean, he's ready to square you up. But I came out of that game going, hey, I think Auburn's going to be pretty good. And I think Baylor is a good team, and they are capable of going and winning a Big 12 championship with the group that they've got.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, for all of us Sooners, there comes a time when we need help. We need someone to fight for us, and that Sooner is Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. If you are battling cancer or any other life-threatening condition and your insurance carrier is either slow playing or outright denying your treatment, use the law to get the medical care you need. Marr Law Firm believes you shouldn't have to fight your insurance company while also fighting for your life. Go to see Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. They turn victims of insurance bad faith into champions. And 3 things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
In my mind, maybe the biggest surprise of the weekend, Utah as an offense. Whoo! How about Dampier? That dude's got a little juice to him.
It's such an interesting visual seeing a guy with that body type back there playing quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? It's just like, wait, why is that running back taking every snap?
I know. And
their play action stuff, like all their run game, and let's be clear, UCLA stinks.
Yeah.
They stink. I watched pretty much all that game. They stink.
That's why
But
they didn't want any media watching them
uh,
through training camp.
Deshaun Foster, it makes more sense now. You didn't want to subject the media to that disgusting display of football. I get it. But Dampier, I won't lie, Ted. Hopped on FanDuel, took a look at the old Heisman odds for Dampier real quick, plus 3,000. Just saying. I was like,
He's going to be tough to deal with.
they look good, man. And
Yeah.
it's, yes, it's a deviation away from what they did offensively with Andy Ludwig for a long time, but it's still physical and a lot of tight ends and stuff. I don't know. It was kind of like a souped up version of Utah, if you will. It was fun to watch. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, in week one, if you're playing a power four opponent and you run the ball for what, 287,
Mm.
that's
On the
getting
road,
yeah.
on the road in front of
Neutral
about
neutral side / on the road.
I I said it when we went there. We weren't doing the podcast yet, but I said it when OU went to UCLA. It is the Rose Bowl is the least impressive stadium I've ever been to. Ever.
Oh
I
yeah.
have never been more underwhelmed by an environment in my life. Now, I've never been to the actual Rose Bowl, which is
It's
supposed to
great.
be the best thing
I-
ever.
They need to change the name of the stadium
Yes.
because yeah, you got the Rose Bowl and then you've got that. And those two things are totally different. They're not, it's not even the same. Like the Rose Bowl in a big game with two evenly matched opponents is perhaps the best setting in college football. It's crazy. In January, I think the timing of it is perfect too in January, but that totally different deal.
It was sad looking at the crowd because that was, and I know Utah did not have a good season last year, but it's still like a solid opponent for the opener. And I looked it up. The attendance is listed at 35,000 for that game. There ain't no way there were 35,000 people there. They had like the entire upper part of the Rose Bowl, like the bowl, like tarped up.
Yeah.
Bad look, dude. Or
Yeah.
like at least the end zones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With some UCLA signage.
The signage is bad. Like that's actually poor marketing. You don't want to draw attention to the tarps that are covering seats.
I've got one UCLA thought.
Okay.
Nico Iamaleava is good.
That run was nice.
Is he elite? No. Is he good? Yes. He is a good player. He's one of the better players at the quarterback position in college football. He's really talented. And he's going to disappear out there, man.
Yeah. It's a cautionary tale.
Correct.
You know, and I feel bad for him because the age he's at, you are reliant on advice. Okay. You need good people around you helping you make the right decisions. So I hate that he's getting the blame for a lot of this whenever who knows what he actually wanted to happen. But it's a cautionary tale and it's a lesson to be learned really by anyone. There's like when I was in Detroit and Rod Marinelli was the head coach, he didn't have a curfew. He didn't have like a list of rules. Like in his very first team meeting, he said, "Let's go. We're going to go over all the rules." And there was one rule: do right. Okay, and we know what's right. You know what's right, right? If you have any type of conscience going on at all, you know what's right. You know what's wrong, and this is a do right rule, in my opinion. Like there may be a few more dollar bills out there. There may be people that are pulling you in one direction, but you know what the right move is. right? And the right move is to stay with your guys, stay with your teammates, and see things out. And the good is ultimately going to come of it. And I have a feeling that that move is probably going to eliminate his entire career as a quarterback. Now, maybe it doesn't. Maybe he gets out of, I don't know, but I hate it for him. And hopefully, there's a lot of college football players, high school kids coming out and recruiting that learn from it. Do right.
The people around him failed him.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, it's his decision.
Mm-hmm.
So he deserves a lot of the blame as well. But that doesn't change the fact that I do kind of still feel bad because he is going from playing in some of the biggest games and biggest atmospheres imaginable to being irrelevant this season.
Yeah, it's one thing if you transferred to UCLA to play in 35,000 from like Northern Illinois or whatever, insert whatever team you want, or whenever you come from playing in front of what, 101, 102,000, insane, maybe the some of the best atmospheres in all of college football. Like, perspective means a lot, and his perspective was probably a shock to the system. Like, wait a minute, this isn't big time college football.
Make good choices.
Mm.
Life is about choices and consequences, Ted. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Alabama.
Whoa. Whoa.
Which, first off, how about Corso going out with the FSU pick? And I saw like all the people clowning him. It's like, dude, on your why are you going to make the worst pick of all time on your last show? Not so fast.
Not so fast, my friends. Yeah, I saw that all the places he coached won,
Oh,
which is
wow.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Uh, FSU, Maryland, Navy, Louisville, Indiana, Northern Illinois, like everyone won.
That's great. That's
So
cool.
he also, by the way, he picked LSU to win the national title. Something to remember.
Oh, boy. Whew.
Corso had himself a Saturday, brother.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
But there is something beautiful about a guy talking noise and then absolutely backing it up. And Tommy Castellanos was electric in this football game.
And he'd been getting like not only the heat from the statement, but whether you believe it or not, like the notes coming out of Florida State training camp did not sound good either, you know?
They I mean, they were just the better team, man. There was no flukiness about that. Yeah, there was like that random torrential downpour. Was the field a little? But hey, both teams are dealing with that. I don't want to hear that. Bama had 87 rushing yards. The longest run they had all day was 13 yards. That ain't Alabama football. Florida State looked faster than Alabama. Faster. They were more physical at the line of scrimmage, and they looked faster. I I don't like Florida State was horrible last year. They got all these new guys. Gus Malzahn, he can still dial it up on offense, baby. That was a whooping.
Yeah. Well, my takeaway is this. Um, you know, there's this constant battle that's always going on, and I'm sure it's been since the beginning of time, football. Um, like what like when you want to be innovative and you want to change things up, like what's the good new stuff and what's the bad old stuff, right? And you hear older coaches and players talk about that's not how we did it, right? And I think it's like a perfect example. Like, say what you want about Saban and the players that he had there. No doubt they were incredibly talented. But the edge that his teams played with, the physicality that they played with, the the tension on the sideline, the tension in practice, the tension on the bus, in the locker room, when you're winning, when you're losing, it's always the exact same. You're on eggshells everywhere. You don't want to be the guy that steps out of line. You don't want to be the guy that's laughing at the pregame meal before the game. You don't want to be the guy that walks into a meeting 30 seconds late, before, like what, you know what I'm talking about. This Alabama team, like if you line them up person by person down the roster, and I don't know a whole lot about everyone on these teams, I'd probably take Alabama's roster, right? But there's no edge. There's no intensity. There's no effort. It's a totally different dynamic. That was the true greatness of Saban, right? Keeping those guys on edge, and it's fun, and we got music, and we're doing all these things, and it helps in recruiting. Players want to win football games, and they want to be challenged. High school kids that don't know any better, they don't shy away from how hard it's supposed to be and how hard it's going to be. That's what they ultimately want. My opinion.
We talked about it a year ago when we were doing our prep for OU Alabama. Their defense ain't scary anymore.
Mm-mm.
The violence, the velocity, it doesn't show up consistently on tape.
Yep.
And I bet if I turn this one on, which I know what I'm doing in bed tonight. I bet if I turn this tape on, you're not going to see what you saw for years and years and years under Nick Saban. Ted, that was just a beautiful monologue about Saban and Bama. That was excellent. That's going to be a fantastic social media clip.
Oh my gosh.
If that one doesn't get some traction, I'm going to be disappointed.
We'll see.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser of the weekend. But first, whether you're tailgating, grilling, or riding the highs and lows of the game from your couch, Chubby's has officially licensed NFL gear to keep you looking like the ultimate fanatic. For a limited time, use our exclusive code OKBreakdown for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com/OKBreakdown. With bold designs featuring your favorite NFL teams, Chubby's game day gear isn't just comfortable, it's a statement. I mean, come on, people. Look at this thing. It's amazing. Rep your team's logos in wildly comfortable polos, wave-making swim shorts, and gym-ready mesh shorts. All the comfort and swagger you need to take on every touchdown dance, chest bump, or dramatic fourth quarter meltdown. Whether you're a Jersey guy or not, these Chubby's NFL collection shirts are an elite alternative. And would you look at that, folks? For a limited time only, our friends at Chubby's are giving our listeners $10 off with the promo code OKBreakdown at chubbyshorts.com/OKBreakdown. That's $10 off your order with promo code OKBreakdown, and that includes the NFL collection. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Express yourself and level up your game day wardrobe with Chubby's. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We all make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. And it's so simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, and they put their users first. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure, and they also offer injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, from my winner of the weekend, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Ooh.
Hey, couple reasons here. Go down there to the Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. You go down there to Atlanta, you get a nice win in the opener over Syracuse, 45-26. Joey Aguilar looks solid. Running game was humming. Gave up more than you wanted to give up defensively, no doubt. But hey, 45-26 in the opener, you'll take it. And then Nico Iamaleava goes 11-22 for 136 yards, and UCLA gets blown out. And I can only imagine how much Tennessee fans enjoyed watching that disaster on Saturday night. I think the Vols had themselves a Saturday, Ted.
Vibes were good.
No doubt.
Good with Tennessee. I mean, the amount of Tennessee fans hate watching that game late was probably incredibly high. Maybe the highest rated game of the weekend.
I don't think you're wrong. All eyes were on Joey Aguilar, and he was solid, man. 247.
Deep balls.
Really good deep ball. A much better deep ball than Nico Iamaleava. Now, he did underthrow one that I think would have been a long touchdown also, but hey, he had the 73-yarder to Staley where you can't throw a deep ball better than that. But I think the most encouraging thing is you lose Dylan Sampson from a year ago. You lose a bunch of offensive linemen. And I know Syracuse isn't great. They're going to see a lot better defenses than Syracuse, but that run game was humming. And they look like they got themselves some backs. I liked what I saw. Deshaun Bishop is just like a tank of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Peyton Lewis, I thought looked really good. Star Thomas late, made some really nice plays. Like I think they're feeling good about the running back position. There's a lot to be encouraged about. It was a tumultuous offseason for Tennessee with the Nico situation, having to replace a bunch of guys that went to the NFL, but an encouraging start to the season for Josh Heupel and the Vols.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. And you're right, man. The rushing game between their top three ball carriers, I mean, they average about, I don't know, close to 7 yards a carry there. The top two guys, it was over 7 a carry. So
yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah. And they're pouring it downhill. Backs look sudden, look fast. It looked good. My loser of the weekend. Thought about going with Boise State. My goodness.
Looked bad early and got worse.
Broncos went down to Tampa and they got smoked.
Got it handed to them.
South Florida's got some athletes now.
They were what? They weren't that big of a dog, but the game didn't look close.
It was South Florida's first win over a top 25 team since 2016.
Dang.
So that may be the most surprising result of the weekend. Not necessarily that South Florida won the game, that they just absolutely smacked them around.
Yeah.
College football, man. You never know.
Crazy. It's fun.
But even on the full opening weekend of college football, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys managed to be my loser of the weekend. I don't want to hear it, man. You simply do not trade an elite player at a premier position like Micah Parsons. I don't really care what you got in return. I don't want to hear it. It's irrelevant. You cannot do that. Pass rusher is arguably the second most important position in the sport. And you have arguably the best one in the sport. The guy's been all pro, 3 times. And you trade him to someone in your conference? What are you doing?
Right before the season, too, which their whole defensive game plan is probably focused on how are they going to create great opportunities for Parsons.
You'd think the coordinator, and hey, Kenny Clark, been a good player in the NFL for a long time now. You get 2 first-round picks. Okay, I get it. But, dude, yeah, Parsons gets $188 million from Green Bay, $120 million guaranteed. It's the easiest decision ever if you're the Cowboys. Just pay him the money, bro. Because this is it. Like, yeah, you're getting the 2 first-rounders. You're getting Kenny Clark. Now you can go spend that somewhere else. But the price you pay by trading that guy away when it comes to how you alienate your fan base, it ain't worth it, dude.
Well, and it's a probability thing too. I mean, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. You had a first round pick, you took Micah Parsons, and you got exactly what you dreamed of, an all-pro, elite, maybe the best edge rusher in the game. Well, now you got 2 first-round picks. There's no guarantee you're going to – how many first-round picks do we see that don't work out? A lot. Probably most of them, actually, whenever we're talking about being all-pro type of players. So now you got to go runner on first-round picks and take and hopefully get back to where you were. It's just –
dude, it's unacceptable. It's
Big D losing some like within 8 months, like your 2 biggest stars.
But there's no lottery to bail Jerry Jones out like Nico Harrison got bailed out.
That's right.
It's terrible.
And those first round picks, Green Bay trending up.
I can't. Someone in the conference, I can't believe that, man. And what message does this send to your team? He's your best player. He's your best player. He may be the best defensive player in the league. I feel confident in saying he's one of them. Oh, yeah, because he's won Defensive Player of the Year. Dude, it's insane. And the worst part about all of this, the thing that triggers me the most about the Micah Parsons situation isn't the trade. It's the fact that Jerry Jones keeps saying his name wrong. What the hell is happening? He keeps calling it, and he's done it for years, I guess. Like, he calls him Michael Parsons. He calls him Michael. It's insane, dude. He's your best player.
Well, he calls his quarterback that he pays $55 million a year Dax.
Dude. Jerry Jones, without a doubt, has made one of the best business investments in the history of sports. Maybe the best one. There's no denying that. But when you can't get your best players' names right, it may be time to move on, man. I know he never will. I get that. And I get it. He's old. But, dude, these are your best players. You got to know Micah Parsons' name, especially after you trade the guy. At least get his name right. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. In fact, I loathe the Cowboys. It's a personal thing. But
he plays owner like someone playing like career mode on Madden.
It's nuts, like dude.
For him,
they traded Micah Parsons.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not like they got some haul back.
Well, here, like, there is a very slim chance that over the long run, 5 years, you come out a winner on this. You have to get 2 home run first round picks, which is unlikely, but I mean,
unless he has like a knee that is degenerating or a shoulder that's degenerating or his spine is degenerating. This is horrible. Horrible.
Horrible.
And it sends a horrible message to anyone that ends up in Dallas. Like, hey, man, you can be the best player in the league and they still may not pay you. And then they're going to drag your name through the mud publicly.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
I'll tell you
I
what's
triple checked to make sure that the Schefter tweet was real. I was like, there's no way. Part of me thought it was fake because he he tweeted his name as Micah Packers instead of Micah Parsons. But
I'll
it
tell
was
you
real.
You talk about like what message does it send to your team, like the players. And I know a lot of it's delusional, and there's a lot of money thrown around, and there's a lot of mercenaries out there that are playing football individually to make a lot of money. But ultimately, this is a team sport, and you start the offseason every year as like, hey, there's a group of us coming together. We're going to go accomplish this goal. And you work, you go through training camp. It's tough, it's physical, it's hard. But like the thing that keeps you going is like, we're doing this as a team, right? We're going to the playoffs. We're going to make the Super Bowl. And all 32 teams are going through the same thing. Like, then you rug pull your football team and like you make them miss the playoffs basically before the season even starts after they've done all the hard part. That's crazy.
Every guy in that defense was like, oh, Mike is going to be back. We're going to be good. Mike is going to be back. We're going to have possibly the best defensive player in the league back on our defense. And he's going, where now? What? Green Bay? Huh? Crazy. Crazy. Birthday shoutouts. Welcome to the world, Archie and Baker.
You're going to have to take, oh, hang on. Sorry, my fault. The whole message didn't click through. My fault.
You've got him.
Yeah, I do. I just had to click the whole message thing. Happy 5th birthday to Ephraim, the fireman, Derry.
Nice. Nailed it.
I get that? Okay.
Welcome to the world, Lucas Cecil Lee.
Happy 5th birthday to Hazley Mitchell.
Happy 9th birthday to Judah Robertson.
Happy 36th birthday to David Anderson.
On that note, episode 559 in the books. We got a big week coming up.
Going to be fun.
Jake Butt, former Michigan tight end, teammate of mine in Denver, will join us on Wednesday's episode to preview the matchup. Our In the Weeds preview over Michigan, Taylor Lewan scheduled to join us to break that tape down.
That'll be awesome.
So it's going to be we got a big week ahead, people, with a massive, massive matchup in Norman. Game day will be in town. Can't wait, man. I'm so excited.
Gonna be fun, man. I'm excited.
So make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel for all the In the Weed stuff. We have now put that on the podcast platforms. We were advised to just, hey, put it on it the way that you normally put stuff on it. I know that there's no video component for the people on Apple, but there is the video component for people on Spotify. We were told that was the way to go. Okay.
There you go.
That's what we were told. That's all we know. But so we'll have In the Weeds on Tuesday, breaking down some of the big plays from the Illinois State game. We'll have an In the Weeds preview of Michigan on Thursday. And then, of course, our normal episode will be in your feed around lunchtime on Wednesday. That's a lot. I'm excited. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our website, okbreakdown.com. Hope you all have a great start to your week. The Sooners are 1-0. And until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.